What's up, guys? PJ Bozzo, summer intern here at Lax Goalie Rat, and today I've got a little something special for you. If you're familiar with the goalie equipment market, you probably know that the STX Eclipse 3, the most famous line of goalie heads, the Eclipses, came out last summer, and there's not a lot of stringing tutorials online for this new head. So I'm gonna solve that problem here for you today. I'm gonna do a stringing tutorial of this pocket. I'm using East Coast mesh, the impact mesh. It strings up like this, nice channel, deep. It'll get a little bit deeper as you play. This mesh isn't broken in. You can use whatever mesh you want, and even if you haven't strung a head before, this is going to be really easy for you to follow around because I've got this nice colorful string here, so you'll be able to see exactly what I'm doing. By the way, this pocket still also works in an Eclipse 2, so even if you've got the older version, or if this is what you prefer, you can use this same pattern because they've got the same number of holes and that same face shape everyone knows and loves. Only difference is the Eclipse 3 has more of a lip here, so if you're someone who strings their stick so it pops off this lip a little more, it'll have a different feel in the two different heads. But that's all good. If you want to buy or read a review on the Eclipse 3, we've got one on the website Coach Damon wrote, so you can go check that out. Check out our link to buy this. I'm just here to show you how to string it. Let's get straight into it. All right, after you create a top string, which I'm just providing the sidewall pattern for this head. I'm not going to show you guys how to string a top string. You can look that up, but basically the theory of the top string we're doing on the Eclipse 3 here is we're taking that 11 diamond row, we're attaching one diamond to each of the top string holes. So this hole, the middle hole, has the middle diamond, one diamond to this hole, one diamond to that hole, one diamond to that hole, tie off on the first sidewall hole. So that's the last top string hole. There's a sidewall hole for you. And you want to loop these in typically, like so you have that bunched and then the string looped around it. But for demonstration purposes, I have this out so you guys can very easily see that it's 11 diamonds across, and we're just not using the two end diamonds. You're going to want to take your string, tie a knot in one end. Any type of knot will do as long as it'll stop the string from pulling through. And you want to go through that second sidewall hole. So we tied off the top string on the first. Second sidewall hole gets the sidewall string. Under that 7th diamond, right there in the top string, is the 8th diamond, or the 3rd diamond in on the next row. So 1, 2, 3. That's the diamond we're coming up through. You see we're up through that diamond, the 1, 2, 3rd diamond in, and we're looping it back, creating that loop. If you've ever strung a player head, no different than this. We're just creating a loop, bunching the mesh in, except the only difference on this Eclipse 3 here is we're coming in. And the reason why we're bunching diamonds at the top here instead of just going on the outermost diamond is because you want to, at the top of a goalie head, you want tension going this way to form that nice channel. So if you didn't follow, 7 diamond top string, the loop in for the sidewall is basically an 8 diamond. We've created an 8 diamond row because we bunched in the two ends on a 12 diamond row. 12 minus 4, 8 diamond row. Right, so once you got your 8 diamond going, if you know the interlock knot, you're going to come down below that 8th diamond, and you're going to find 1 diamond in on the 11th diamond row, basically. So you'll see 8th diamond right there. This right here is basically a 9 diamond row, because there's the 11th diamond. Here's the 1 diamond in, and all you want to do is do your normal interlock on that 9th diamond. So 1 diamond in on an 11 diamond row. 11 minus 2, 9 diamond row, come through, interlock, and you'll see that pulls that tight to the sidewall. We're nice and secure to the sidewall. You want to find the diamond below, diamond. You see I'm making up words, too many diamonds. You want to find the diamond below that. So this is 1 diamond in on a 12 diamond row, creating a 10 diamond. Once we tie this off, come through the outside of the sidewall hole, up through the front of the mesh, And then under that loop, you kind of create an interlock, interlocking that to the head there. I'm trying to get the best view so you guys can see this. But if you need a tutorial on how to tie an interlock, specialty interlock, or one SI, you can always look those up on YouTube. Plenty of in-depth tutorials that might be a little more close up on a smaller head, like a player head, which are probably a lot easier to follow. That's how I learned. I didn't go straight into goalie stringing. So if this is your first time and you're not familiar with knots, I would string a player head or two, figure that out first, because these are definitely hard. The next interlock, we haven't skipped any holes yet. So on the the fifth sidewall hole, we're going to use this 11 diamond row and make another interlock. If you're following me right now, man, you know something about stringing, because this is probably confusing. But if you want to string the best possible goalie pocket, this is definitely the way to go. Then, now, luckily for you guys, the rest of this head is only using 12 diamond rows. So this is like your normal stringing strategies. Thank God, because that was really confusing for you guys. So we're going to do 5 normal interlocks in a row right after that 11 diamond interlock. So I'm on the 6th sidewall hole from the top. On the 6th sidewall hole, interlock. That's the first of 5. 7th sidewall hole, interlock. That's the second of 5 interlocks. 5 just normal, run-of-the-mill interlocks. Nothing special here. If you want to do SIs, if that's your thing, go right ahead. This pocket, modify it, make it how you want it to be. But I like interlocks. That's what I'm going to teach you guys to do. Now I'm working on my 3rd interlock. I'm trying to make this easy for you guys to see, but also easy for me to actually do this. Kind of hard if you never tried to teach someone to string on video. That's our 3rd interlock. Yep, that's our 3rd interlock. Going on to the 4th right here. This string is also thick, which makes it annoying. This is not a normal lacrosse string, so it's kinking up, doing weird stuff. I gotta fight with it. 4th interlock. Last interlock right here. Thank God I'm done with interlocks. Coming up and through. So like I said, watch that back if you don't really understand how interlocks work. But you already see, man, we're making a good channel. That thing is tight. This mesh isn't even broken in. It'll widen out a little bit. Like I said, this pocket is pretty much perfect. If you're an Eclipse guy, you gotta be using this pattern. To add a little bit of depth, because we've just tightened down a bunch of diamonds, we're gonna do a 1 into an SI. So a 1 is basically where you float a diamond. So you'll see I just floated this diamond. This diamond can float and move pretty freely on the string by coming up through it, and then do an SI right after that. So we're leaving 1 diamond free, 1 diamond in an SI, and the SI is going to be on the very next hole after that last interlock you just did. So if you don't know what an SI is, it's basically an interlock. You see I don't have this done, but I interlocked it. It's not tied in. And then you go back through the hole, and then that locks that down super tight, and you'll see it's locked to the outside of the plastic. Now we're going to do that same thing we just did, the 1 SI, except the only difference here is that we're skipping a sidewall hole. So you're going to bunch those diamonds like you did, skip this hole, and go in and tie your SI in on the hole after that one. So go through, make sure everything looks right, tie that SI, and now we've got 2 1 SIs in a row. One of them has a skip in the middle, and now we've got some real pocket depth going. But you'll notice we still haven't lost the channel. The channel still looks absolutely perfect. Right after that, we're going straight into a normal SI, just on the very next hole, very next diamond. Very next hole, very next diamond. Normal SI. Definitely, I did a horrible job of explaining how to tie an SI. So you're definitely, if you've never done this before, definitely going to look that up. Practice it a little bit. You're going to mess up a lot if this is your first time ever stringing a goalie head. So, just be patient. It'll come to you. Never comes to anyone the first time. Got that SI down. And we're going to do one more SI, except this time we're going to be skipping a sidewall hole. So it's a skip SI. And then we're tying off by after that SI. So we just did that SI. Take the next diamond, go from the back of that diamond, come inside the head like this. So you're pulling from the inside out. You're pulling that string from the inside out. So now that string's inside out. And then I have to take this away, but basically tie a knot in the string, like knot the string. I'll show you guys after I do this on my lap. Tie a knot in the string like that. So you see the string is knotted so that it doesn't pull through. And you've got a stopper. So now, once you've got your top string and this sidewall, you're going to have to rewind the video, watch what I just did on this sidewall, if you guys can see that. Rewatch it, do it on the other side. I already had the other side strung for reference. And then I'll show you guys how to string in a bottom string. Alright, and for the last thing you want to do after your top string and you finish both sidewalls is obviously put a bottom string on this. So I'm using a cut down shooting string. That's what I recommend. But you can use some normal sidewall string too. It works. It's just maybe not as supportive. So you notice Eclipse 3, we've got 6 bottom string holes right here. What I'm gonna do, I took this off the shaft so you could more easily see this, is I'm gonna come in through the middle bottom string hole on one side, and then on the diamond we have looped off here at the end. On that row, I'm going to come up through the 4th diamond in. You see, so this is the 4th diamond in on that row. And then find the 4th diamond in on the same row on the mirror side. Like that. Come through again right there. And that's like kind of your basic loop bottom string. It'll definitely work. Most people like to double that up, so take a second string and put that through because, especially if you're in high school and college, you'll notice sometimes bottom strings snap or the mesh down here will snap because there's not enough support. So doubling up on the bottom string is definitely helpful. One thing I like to do, though, to make sure that the ball can't slide through the middle here or there, and just to also double up, is to come through the inside hole and then go across to the 4th diamond in once again, but on the cross side from that hole. So you'll see I created a little slash, come back over to the 4th diamond in on the other side, and then come through. And if you can see, you'll create this little X pattern like that. That's a cool way you can do it. And then obviously tie off at the end. You see I've got these knots right here to stop this. Well, I didn't knot this, but I'm just demonstrating. So I'm just holding it with my finger. And yeah, that's your completed pocket for the Eclipse 3 or the Eclipse 2. By the way, customize this. If you don't really like this sidewall pattern, you want this to get deeper, shallower, you want to move the pocket a little bit higher, just use what I gave you, these knots I demonstrated, and this theory as kind of your own template. Modify this, whatever mesh you want to use. You want to dye the head, customize it, and especially whatever shooting string setup. I'm a no shooting string type of guy. That's how I've always been. But maybe you like a U shooting string, 2 U's, a couple straight shooting strings, nylons, whatever. Go crazy with it. Modify this. Use the tools I've given you guys to really customize your Eclipse and make the perfect stick for you. You're the stringer in this case. do whatever is going to make you happy and you're going to play the best with. This has been PJ Bozzo from Lax Goalie Rat, and this was an STX Eclipse 3 or 2 stringing tutorial.